Hello and welcome, 4X fans. It's been a while since eXplorminate has done a most anticipated 4X list. Well, you no longer have to wait, as we've compiled the list of a few 4X games that we're most excited about here at eXplorminate. Without further ado, Spellforce Conquest of Eo. The latest title in the Spellforce series looks to be the perfect blend of 4X and tactical RPG goodness, with perhaps a stronger focus on RPG elements, but still clearly inspired by Fantasy 4X games and the Heroes of Might and Magic series. Spellforce Conquest of Eo aims to challenge heavyweights like Age of Wonders and even Master of Magic. We were pretty caught off guard by THQ Nordic's surprise announcement of Conquest of Eo in June, but now we're frothing at the bit to learn more. We're crossing our fingers for a 2022 release date, but for now the Steam page says it's coming soon. Master of Magic Reboot. Muha Games faces the near impossible task of successfully rebooting the venerated Master of Magic, but if their previous development of Thea 1 and Thea 2 is any indication, we think they can pull it off. While it bills itself as a remake rather than a sequel to the classic Master of Magic, we're hoping that Muha considers the advancements in user interface, quality of life, and other gameplay-oriented improvements that have been made since the 1990s, and improve the formula where it can. As I said, it's an impossible task, as some fans will want a game that's as close to the original as Muha can make it, while others might hope for a more modern take on the formula. Either way, 4X fans should be excited to see the return of such a beloved franchise, and while pleasing everyone will be difficult, we don't doubt that some 4X fans will find their next obsession with this when it releases later this year. Alliance of the Sacred Sons. Okay, so we're cheating a little bit here. Cathawk Studios dubbed the strategy game a 5X game, with the 5th X being for Exist. Alliance of the Sacred Sons applies a lot of twists to the 4X formula, something we can definitely get behind, as we've begun to feel like the genre is getting a little bit stale. Alliance of the Sacred Sun gives the player finite action points every turn, requiring them to focus their efforts on a limited number of action items. You can do anything, but you can't do everything, reads their product description. With those action points, you'll be managing an entire empire as the Emperor without getting bogged down in the day-to-day micromanagement of dozens of colonies across your domain. Not only will Alliance of the Sacred Sons have more traditional 4X-like gameplay with the exploration of new systems, colonizing planets, building military, and more, but you'll also be navigating the politics of several great houses, doing your best to maintain your seat as the Emperor, with the ultimate goal of uniting the Celestial Empire against the Zil, humanity's greatest threat. Alliance of the Sacred Sons runs the risk of being too unique and different, but with the proper amount of tutorializing and onboarding, we're hopeful that Cathawk Studios can pull it off. We should know more by the end of this year, as they're still planning a release date for sometime in 2022. Revival Recolonization. Set on a post-apocalypse Earth, HeroCraft PC's Revival Recolonization looks to take inspiration from some of the greatest 4X games ever made, like Endless Legend, Alpha Centauri, and more. Players will focus on altering the environment to their needs, both for their own survival and as a weapon against other civilizations. As you terraform this new Earth at will, you'll also be fighting your enemies with customizable units that you design. Combat takes place on a turn-based tactical map, and you'll have the ability to directly contribute to combat with many active skills at your disposal. What we've seen from the early playtests so far leaves us pretty hopeful, and with an early access launch date later this year, 4X fans will be able to help shape the game into something unique and remarkable. Ara History Untold. It's not often that we see new 4X games announced with the backing of a huge publisher like Microsoft, but Oxide Games surprised us all with its recent announcement of Ara History Untold. You might know Oxide Games from their good, almost great Ashes of the Singularity, but now they've shifted their sights onto turn-based 4X, and we couldn't be happier. We don't know much about the actual gameplay of Ara, but the screenshots are of a very high quality, and display what looks like a greater focus on city building, as many of them show elaborate cityscapes. There also appears to be a more macro-level element to the gameplay too, as this screenshot shows off what appears to be territories and some army movement. We're hoping to learn more about Ara soon, as the closed alpha tests have begun recently. Most of us here have applied to join, but I'm practically begging everyone I know who will listen for access. We'll see if I get in. Zephon. Last but not least, from the developers of the lauded but incredible mouthful Warhammer 40k Gladius Relics of War, comes a 4X game set in a post-apocalyptic world where humans, aliens, and an ultra-intelligent AI all vie for dominance. In our podcast interview with Proxy Studios, they really sold us on their vision for the game. Not only will they be improving upon the combat mechanics of Gladius, but they also want survival to be a real focus for the player, as the world will be full of danger. Furthermore, Proxy Studios plans a more fluid, narrative-driven approach to diplomacy. We here at eXplorminate think Gladius is one of the very best 4X games out there, and the inclusion of more traditional 4X elements with Zephon has us most intrigued. Proxy Studios wants to combine the best elements of Gladius with what worked for Beyond Earth and Alpha Centauri in a unique post-apocalyptic setting. It sounds like a winning formula to us, and we're very excited to see what the finished product will be in 2023. Well, 4X fans, that's it for this video, but we'd be remiss if we didn't have some honorable mentions. That's right, there's some other 4X games in development that are kind of early in development that we're definitely keeping an eye on right now. You have to check out the site at www.eXplorminate.co for those, so head on over there. Until then, we hope you've enjoyed this short list of 4X games that we're most excited for right now. And if you liked the video too, please like and subscribe. Until next time, 4X fans, keep exploring.